This video contains harsh language, specifically English. Warning: the following video contains opinions, and they could even be contrary to yours. Please remember that even in the heat of the moment, it's about opinion. If you watch the whole video and you still don't agree with me, well, feel free to sound off in the comments. Just don't be a dick about it. Opinionated mates.
You know, one thing I can't stand is developers who attempt to bully media outlets. We see this a lot in the games industry, that companies will withhold copies of their games from publishers who have given them negative reviews in the past, and not only does it make the company in question look childish and stupid and petty, it also makes it clear that they're only interested in getting good press, when really any press is good press. The reason why I bring this up is there's a developer by the name of Badfly Interactive, who are famous for making a bunch of mobile games, most famous of which being Dead Effect 2, which has now come to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And basically, they've been issuing these emails out to people who have been interested in getting keys for their games. The email reads like a typical email. I've got a copy of it here from a GOGconnected.com article who brought this to my attention. And you know, it's the typical thing: please review this game, here's a copy of the game. But the end of the email is really concerning, and I'm going to quote it verbatim. Also, we're working on several other games that are definitely interesting, and if your review or preview of Dead Effect 2 is very negative, you won't receive any keys from us in the future. Now that to me sounds like bullying. It sounds like straight up bullying. If you don't give our game a positive review, we're not going to give you a key. Now, this is a company made up of 11 people developing games in the Unity engine. This is what they do. This is who they are. I look at that and it looks petty. It looks childish. It looks like a bunch of kids making games in their basement. That's what it looks like. If they've been in the industry for as long as they say, then they know what's good practice and what's not good practice. Picking fights with the people who are going to put the name of your game and screenshots and potentially positive messages, or at least coverage, full stop. Put coverage out there. You don't just... I mean, come on, they're being developed in the fucking Unity engine by a group of 11 people. They don't have the authority to be able to go, oh, if you give us a bad review, we'll never give you codes again. It just makes them look petty and stupid. If you're giving out codes for your game, right? If you're developing a game and you're giving out codes to get coverage for your game, you have to be proud of your game and you have to be sure that your game is a good game. If you're giving out codes for your game and you're worried that someone might give you a low score, maybe that's because deep down in the back of your head you realize that what you're producing isn't good enough to be considered highly rated. And the reason why you're giving out these free codes is because you're hoping that by giving a free copy away, someone will give a slightly more positive review. Look, if you're giving away codes for your game, you've got to be proud of what you made, and you've got to be proud to stand by it, despite the criticisms that it receives. You don't knowingly release a bad game, and I think in the case of Badfly Interactive, if they're concerned that somebody is going to give them bad reviews for their games, they should spend more time developing their games, and maybe hire more than 11 fucking members of staff, and, you know, they should also spend less time writing offensive, antagonistic emails to the people who are going to be giving them coverage on their big websites. If I was the owner of a gaming website and I received an email from Badfly Interactive saying, yes, we would like you to review our game. If you give it a bad review, you'll never hear from us again. I would say, all right, official email typed out, fuck off then. I'm not interested in a gaming company that isn't proud enough to stand by their games despite criticisms. I've since found an update on this story, according to Eurogamer, and I'll also post this link in the description. To summarise what's been posted here, Badfly got in touch with GOG Connected after their article, and they admit that they screwed it. Shitstorm started, lesson learned. But I feel like, in this instance, Badfly Interactive are writing this apology only because they were caught putting their hand in the cookie jar. They say they had a talk with their PR teams and game promoters, and they've said that they will no longer demand positive reviews in order to provide future product keys. Their reputation has been tarnished now. That's it. They've hurt themselves, and they deserve what they're suffering from now for having put their hand in the cookie jar and been seen doing it. We will not withhold keys because of negative previews if these previews are realistic and honest. The point of our message was to just see us as what we are, a small indie studio. At least they have a sense of humour. The guy who wrote that message is being tortured in the basement now. Wait, so you're being tortured in the basement now?